Alrighty, so today I wanted to talk about PALWORLD, and I might be a little late to this, but a friend of mine had told me about it. I hadn't even heard about it, nothing. And then I came into work and he was like, hey, let's all buy this game. I was like, never heard of it, but okay. I mean, it sounds fun, and it's on Game Pass, or you can buy it. It was like $25. So I was like, okay, I'll do that. Apparently, it's been a known thing for a couple years now, as I've heard, but I literally had not an inkling of it. But I will say, if you are on PC, or vice versa, you're on PC and your friend is on Xbox, you have to buy it on PC on the Xbox store. If you buy it on Steam, you cannot do crossplay with Xbox. You need to buy it on the Xbox store, and I don't know what's their delay. They plan on doing Steam crossplay eventually, but I know a lot of people who bought it on Steam, and I bet they have friends who have it on Xbox, and they were like, hey, why is it not working? Bam. So I bought it on the Xbox store on PC. That's fine with me. I don't necessarily care to have all my games in the same place, so whatever. And we have one guy who plays on the Xbox, so I think it worked out pretty well. And yes, it's on Game Pass, so if you have Game Pass, you can just try it out and quit. So you could say the baseline is like Pokemon, but in my opinion, it's changed significantly. People like to say it's a direct ripoff of Pokemon when it really isn't. To just break it down to the bare thing, the idea of catching things has been around forever. The idea of using creatures to fight for our amusement, like that's been around forever too. I just saw a lot of people saying like, oh, they're so pro Nintendo in a weird, creepy way. They're like, I hope this game gets sued to oblivion. I hope this game fucking rots. It's like, okay, well, calm down, please. It's, and I'll go more into detail, but it's, to me, different enough from a fucking Pokemon game that it's not a direct ripoff. But, onto the game. PALWORLD is definitely a game to play with your friends, or randoms if possible. There is a solo mode, which is basically just loading your own world, but the multiplayer aspect makes it literally 100 times better. So, another thing that sucks, and this might be all games like this, I've never really played games like this. We started a world, my friend started a world, and we joined him and built up our characters. And then I realized I can't use that same character solo. I can only play when he is on, which sucks so hard. And so I made my own world. But now I'm pretty high level in my own world that if my friends joined, it would all be out of sync. And so that's definitely a huge thing I hate. I mean, we're all adults. I'm 30. A lot of people I know, I say I'm almost 30. We're all grown adults. We don't necessarily have all the time to sync up perfectly like that. So it's an unfortunate thing. I don't know if that's a common thing for games like this, but I wish it wasn't. So, sadly, my opinion, in solo mode, just feels like you're grinding nonstop when figuring out the game for the first time. Maybe after you play for a while and you start a solo world, you won't have this problem. But for people starting out, it can be a challenge. For me personally, I'd like to not have to Google where things are, like how to defeat enemies, and just kind of know everything. I want to try to figure it out, but it definitely takes a lot longer on certain things. For me, again, personally, the quickest way I've leveled up is to just spam bosses and kill the same group of enemies. There's this place like Gobfin Cove or something. I pull out my unkillable boss, Pokemon, pal, whatever, and just stay there and grind and level up. It can be tedious when I want to level up, but it takes a while. Like, so, you know, because it's not a guarantee I can even play some nights. Like, sometimes it's twice a week. Sometimes it is every night I can play. Who knows? Every night, even if it is, it might be an hour, might be 30 minutes. I literally don't ever know. So with that being said, if you want, you can customize the world settings to benefit you greatly. You can make the game very, very easy, I'll tell you that, and have almost no challenge. And I mean, you can customize capture rates, hunger rates, XP rate, a whole bunch of things. When you die, you can set it to not drop items. So for me personally, I've done it where when I die, I don't drop items, and hunger rates for my pals are very slow, just because I'm playing by myself, and I was like, okay, I don't mind like challenging boss and stuff, but I need some level of balance because I'm just playing by myself. When playing with your friends, you can also trade your pals as well. To build a base, you have to first build a pal box where your Pokemon, if they die, you can heal them there, stuff like that. Assign them to the base. When you assign your pal as a base worker, your friends can see them, and so they can go in there and take him as well. So with that, I think it helps your friends if they haven't gotten the Pokemon pal whatever yet. They can try it out basically for themselves and see if they like it or not, and then go fight it and, you know, get it for themselves. Especially the boss pals, which can be real tough and sometimes does require you and your buddies to try to run through it multiple times. Because you accidentally kill them because you waste 30 freaking pal spheres trying to capture it, or you just kill it on accident and you're like, well, I have to wait an hour to try again. And with that, capturing pals is based off percentages, and sometimes you get lucky even with a 1% chance, and you can capture a boss pal. Very rare. I've seen it happen a couple times, not for me, of course, but for other people. You can also find eggs throughout the map and incubate them and get new pals. The eggs, you can find them or by breeding Pokemon pals. And I keep saying Pokemon pals because the game is different from Pokemon, but they do look like cute little monsters, like, you know, I mean, I would sometimes say like Yu-Gi-Oh, like the Toon World Yu-Gi-Oh monsters, and like very cutesy. So I will keep making that mistakes by calling it that. But yes, you can breed pals and create eggs that way. But by finding eggs, they're not too hard to find. Basically, just go to a high ledge or like a mountaintop, basically, and you'll find an egg. It's fine. It's always good to have a mixed variety on your team, so you can prepare accordingly when fighting enemies in the wild, because it changes from grass Pokemon, dark magic Pokemon pals, fire, electric, water, ice, everything. And so I think I have a fire, electric, rock, and grass, maybe? I can't remember. I don't have each element as my main team. I don't think. I'd have to pull up. I haven't played my solo world in a few days, so I haven't checked it. Your pals can also have upgrades, such as mounted guns or saddles, so you can use them to fly around or make travel quicker. And just like my other videos, I wrote all these notes and I'm just reading them. They kind of help me get through the video. So I have a giant bear as one of my pals, and the special I unlocked for him is a mounted grenade launcher. I have a bird Pokepal. I unlocked a saddle, so now I can fly around the map, which helps a ton. So it's cool to have those things like that. It kind of amplifies them from just doing their basic move or being a basic pal. You can also assign moves or skills to your pals and unlock moves by leveling them up, or by finding skill fruits that allow you to give them the skill that that fruit is. So by that I mean by naturally leveling them up, they unlock skills. But throughout the world, you can find on trees. I can't remember if you can buy them, but you can find these trees that usually have like 3 fruits on them. Each fruit has a skill that you can assign to any of your party. So I could have an electric Pokemon, but if I have a water fruit, I can assign that water power to the electric Pokemon. So now they can do 2 different elements, which is super nice. I've only found 2 of the trees. I can't remember if I found a merchant or not who's selling them. But yeah, I have a lot now in my solo world. So, and for your character, you can have quite an arsenal. So you can have guns, crossbows, missile launchers, all kinds of weapons. Now, it does take a while to unlock the guns and stuff like that. So I'm level 26, I think. You unlock your first gun, a musket, I think at level 21. And so you have to work your way up quite a while to even get to the really good stuff. Same with armor. You go from simple cloth rags to full-on metal armor and like heat or cold resistant metal armor. And it is a game changer. So when you unlock these, it definitely changes how you fight and stuff, because I can just, snipe a Pokepal from a pretty good distance. If I get a headshot, they're dead. One thing that can suck, especially on a solo world, is crafting the gun and the ammo can be pretty bad, because what it is, and I don't have a Anubis yet, and Anubis can craft insanely fast. I don't have him. Crafting guns and ammo takes forever if you do not have him. So find him immediately. I don't even know how my friends found one, but I really need to get it. Because it's not just that. You're gathering resources. You can't be hungry. Your pals can't be hungry. If you get hungry and don't eat, you'll start losing health. And I think you'll either die or you'll be at 1 HP. But that's kind of like the gist of the game. Now, I do hope the development team slowly adds more unlockables and levels and things to do. Because right now, my biggest problem, and I was telling my wife this in the car, is the lack of levels and lack of design. Or maybe I should have just said lack of level design. There's dungeons in the game, but every dungeon is literally the same dungeon. The layout and the design, like, it's identical. It's annoying. My expectation was that each dungeon would be a little different, but it's not. You mine the same kind of rock for the ore. You see the same landscape. And I do know, yes, there are hot areas, there are cold areas, which is cool, like snowy areas and stuff, like the Obsidian Mountain, the hot area. But I wish there was more variety within the main part of the map. So it's just kind of like an empty and plain green field. And I heard someone say maybe it's because of the base building. Maybe that's it. But it's just so lackluster in the scenery. It's so bland. Me personally, I would have liked to have seen, or maybe in the future we will see, a world more like Horizon Zero Dawn, where they have snowy areas, swampy areas, grassland areas, but the landscape is a little bit more unique. I almost forgot to mention, there are boss towers, almost like gyms from Pokemon. Or really any game that has like a huge building where you go fight the boss. So I guess like Legend of Zelda, anything. I've personally not done them all. I think I've done 2. I hope each one is a little bit more distinct, because the first one, it's pretty cool. It's a girl on top of like this big electric Pokemon that can like shoot electric missiles, almost like beams. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. But that's about all I'm gonna have for this video. I just wanted to talk about PALWORLD because I've definitely been already slowly not playing it, and it's only been a few weeks. I really want to play Helldivers 2. Hopefully I can get that soon if it fits in the budget, and I don't know. I mean, I'd like to review that soon, but I think that's about it for this video. Please, let me know what you think of my opinion of Palworld. If you think, it'll still be popular here in 6 months or a year. If you think I'm wrong on something, I want the conversation. So, as always, thank you for watching.